You've double booked your executive forum meeting, and on top of that, you realized you scheduled another meeting during their focus time. Meeting conflicts you didn't resolve wastes everyone's time and money. This also results in disengaged and frustrated employees, leading to burnout and lost productivity. In this video, I will share how I manage my executive's calendar and successfully prevented over 50 meeting conflicts. We'll talk about color coding, buffers, time blocking, the 3-question filler that I use, and my no scripts. So let's dive in. The first one is color coding. This is my favorite system. So the way to use a color coding system is to create categories of what your executive has on their calendar. To create categories, follow these 3 simple steps. 1. Open your executive's calendar. Doesn't matter if you're using Gmail or Microsoft Outlook, just open the calendar. The second step you'll take is to preview the last 6 to 12 months. This is where you'll note any patterns you see. Do they have mornings free? Do they have Friday afternoons blocked off? Do they prefer an hour break time or 30 minutes? Do they like to take meetings late in the afternoon? Write them all down. The third step is to group events that are alike. For example, if you see events on the calendar that said prepare for a meeting or call Linda, these events can be categorized as tasks. If you saw a recurring meeting like a weekly or a monthly meeting with the department or other people that they work with, you can put meetings. If you saw flight confirmations, hotel stay dates, and even car service to and from the airport, you can put the category as travel. And then if you saw dental appointments, trip to Disneyland or something, you can put personal category. Now, let's use the categories we've created as an example. Now that we have these categories, we can talk about colors. It's nice to have fun colors on the calendar, but what's nicer is a strategically color-coded calendar. For example, we can use red for important meetings such as board meetings. Red signals your brain that it's important or urgent. Next, we can use blue for anything travel related. For example, your hotel confirmation or car services. Blue signifies a relaxing color, so I like to correlate this with travel. We can use green for meetings. We can use yellow for tasks, and then purple for anything personal related. This is the fun part. On the screen, you will see a calendar without color coding. And now I'm going to show you a calendar with color coding. At a glance, you'll know they have a board meeting that week, dinner with family on a Tuesday, and a lot of tasks to do on a Thursday. And you'll also see that they will travel to Disneyland. With one color calendar, you won't even know what's happening that week without going over all the events on the calendar, opening them up one by one, and reading the full title. But with the color-coded calendar, you already have an idea of what the week looks like. Next, we'll talk about buffers. Buffers are the pauses in between any task or a meeting on the calendar. I recommend you check with your executive for their preference on buffers. A chief technology officer I supported last year had his own buffer strategy, which I find really smart. So instead of having a 30-minute meeting with someone, he only had 25 minutes. The other 5 minutes, he used it to either catch a breath or just rest until the next meeting. Another executive I supported wanted to have at least 15 or 30 minutes in between meetings. They prefer to have at least this time to walk around or maybe get a coffee. Both of these strategies work, and it really depends on your executive on their preference. So check with them. The key here is to align with your executive expectations so that you can better support them. You can ask them, would you like a buffer time built in between your meetings? Or would you prefer back-to-back? Or you can even ask them if they're okay with having back-to-back meetings for up to a certain hour. So maybe up until a 2 hours time frame only, or a span of 4 hours. In connection to the color coding, you can create another color for buffers, but make sure to use colors that are not too bold. Probably like a gray or something that is not too eye-catching. Third one we'll talk about is time blocking. Depending on your executive's preference, you can block all activities on their calendar like prep time, morning block, or even their travel to the office or lunchtime. Again, you would have to check with them if they want these on their calendar or if only the lunchtime would be okay. Here are some guide questions you can ask your executive to clarify things. Don't worry, I'll link all of this down below and more. The fourth one is the 3-question filter. So whenever a meeting request comes in or even a meeting pops up on their calendar, there should always be these 3 questions to ask yourself or your executive if you need clarification. The first question you should be asking, does this align with your executive's priorities? So every week, or how frequent this may be, your executive might have shifting priorities every week, monthly, or even probably every day. You have to see if this meeting aligns with their priorities. Question number 2, does this actually need to be a meeting? Could this be an email or a Slack or Teams message, or even a quick call instead? And number 3, what's the desired outcome? If a meeting request doesn't have an agenda, you should ask for one. If there's no agenda, there's no meeting. This trains people to come prepared. The last one is the no script. These are my go-to messages when declining meetings or requesting to have them rescheduled. So, you don't have to start all of these at once, but I challenge you to start one this week. This can be just putting a buffer time in between meetings if you see that your executive is on back-to-back meetings. Or if you want to start with the fun stuff, I would go with the color coding. A week after that, maybe you can do time blocking. The goal is to make your lives easier and be proactive in supporting and managing your executive's calendar. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and also download the PDF file of our topic today. That way you can always go back and refer to it and be amazing at your job. Click this video if you want to learn how to avoid burnout at work as an administrative assistant in 2026. I'll see you there.